How do you even start this?
God, I can't. This is something I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Welcome to the Rookie Session podcast.
Woo!
I'm your
Yeah,
host. I'm your host DJ, and
I'm Lewis.
that's Lewis.
Yeah,
And there was been a race.
God, it did start and it did finish.
Yes, there was a race.
Yes.
I personally fell asleep through it.
Uh-huh.
And then I fell asleep watching the highlights. So I don't know what that says about either me or the actual race itself.
Yeah, good.
So,
Good.
what did you think?
I thought the main takeaway, personally, Max Verstappen won.
Yeah.
What? I thought maybe there was a possibility that Max wouldn't win for the first 10 races, and boy,
Okay.
has he proved me wrong.
Why is that?
Because, I'm sure it's something we'll go into more detail in the future, but the Red Bull car, not very good,
No.
not the best car on the grid. However, Max Verstappen is the best driver, so I imagine he'd be top three. I don't think he'd win.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, would you want to go over some of the stuff that happened before the race? Maybe before the whole weekend.
What the car changes, the helmets and the costume changes.
Not even that.
Well, not
Just
costumes.
the news. Just news that
News.
costumes. Yeah, like they go to a fancy dress party.
I mean, Red Bull went white, so
It looks cool. Well,
I didn't really
was
like
white
it.
white and red. But I mean, stuff. Some rumors that came out beyond the week.
Oh shit!
'Cause
You know.
It's obviously F1 is a forever changing world. Everything changes. So I think the main big piece of news going into this race, by a country mile, is Yuki and Liam swapping seats.
Which I didn't think was going to happen, and I was proven wrong.
Next day, you were proven wrong.
Yeah, because we uploaded the podcast, and then the next day the news came out, and I was like, fuck. But it's fine. It's fine. I can accept that I was wrong, and that's it. You know, it is what it is. It happens.
That's brave. That's big of you.
Thanks. To be fair, I also,
job, man.
usually when I'm, wrong, I don't really give a shit. The thing is, oh, I'm wrong. It is what it is. Some people get kind of upset about it, but I'm like, ugh, it is. I was wrong. It happens, innit? You know what I mean?
I'm never wrong, personally.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
yeah, not once. Do you think, after watching, what you watched of Japan, I keep wanting to say China, but I there seems to be a theme going on here where I reference the previous race, rather than the one we've just had. Well, the previous one,
Yeah.
rather than the one we've just had. But do you think it was a good change, positive change, worth change after watching Japan, the bits you were awake for?
Even if the highlights did not pay attention to Lawson or Yuki, did they do well?
I don't think either of them finished in points,
Oh.
to be honest with you.
Was because I thought that since I think a lot of people also thought this since Liam switched to racing balls, that then he will do better now because he's got a car that he can work with.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Lawson finished 17th, and Yuki finished 12th. Which, if you're going off of that alone, the change wasn't good because Yuki was finishing higher than 12th before then.
Yeah.
I think, from memory. But the Red Bull's finishing in front of the Racing Bulls, which will be the only thing that Helmut Marko cares about.
Yeah.
But, my God, was that race boring.
Yeah.
Just to give you a bit of perspective, because this took me back. At the end of the race, the only thing that changed from the grid, from the top 10, the only overtake that was made was Hamilton overtook Hadjar, and that was in the first 3 laps. The top 10 stayed the same after that. Boring! All the overtakes seem to be in the bottom half, which is fine. It made for some racing, but not enough to keep me entertained. I didn't fall asleep, so loser, I guess.
Yeah. I think I literally fell asleep after the second lap, and I was like, it's fine. And then I looked at back on like other things, and I was like, I literally looked at who was. I looked at the starting podium, and I looked after I woke up who won, and I was like, so nothing fucking changed.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty much.
then it wasn't a race I need to watch anyway. It's fine.
Another piece of news that came out was that Checo Perez, everyone's favourite Mexican driver, aside from Pato Award, it's rumoured to be joining Cadillac in 2026.
Oh.
What's your thoughts on that one?
I don't know.
Who would you want to drive, like, want or expect to drive a Cadillac next year?
I don't think I have enough knowledge for this, I think.
Because, like, normally the assumed pairing is an experienced veteran and a rookie. Take like Sauber, for example. Good. Like Sauber, they've signed Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah.
And they've signed Bortoleto. But yeah, there's a few names associated with the Cadillac team for next year. Bottas obviously being one of them. I think Zhou Guan Yu's another one, but I don't think it will be Zhou. I think it's very much more likely it'll be Valtteri. I could see Ricciardo, maybe Perez. Maybe, I know Cadillac have an IndyCar team and an IndyCar. Well, not Cadillac, but more Andretti. They have a driver called Herta or something like that. Something. Apparently, they love him. Like General Motors love him. So he's heavily rumoured, and that would be the rookie to the experienced veteran.
Yeah.
So there's that. Would you want to see Perez back in the sport?
No.
Fair.
Well, okay, it's nothing like mainly because, and this, I far as I know, because this was like probably years ago that he said this, it was his attitude towards women being in the sport, and that's why I don't want to be in there.
Okay.
And like I don't see why someone should be like that and still be in the sport, because like he's just got not doesn't got a good attitude. And a bit, you know.
I mean, once again, this was like a few years ago. Whether or not he still thinks the same is a bit.
I mean,
blurry, but I get you.
Yeah, it's like that one presenter, that girl, Danielle.
Danica Patrick.
Danica. How do I say Danielle instead of Danica? That she also said that women shouldn't be in the sport, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Being a woman in the sport.
Yeah, that's
so
fucking
backwards.
odd. It's so odd, and like she shouldn't be there either. If she doesn't believe that women should be in the sport, get the fuck out then.
I don't think Danica specifically should be in the sport just because she's really annoying.
She just doesn't have a good view, and I don't think she should be there. So I don't want Perez there because of his view with like against women being in the sport when women. There's no reason why women can't be in F1. You know, like there's no difference between a woman and a man. I mean, I don't know if there is a difference. Is there a difference? It's not really. Is that not a physical?
There's probably a biological thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would stop women getting into the sport. Because even if it is like, because like, it's like the same with any sports. It's like the argument is that men are better. Men are biologically stronger. Blah 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 blah. But then, you still have women who are faster than men, regardless. So I agree. That I think, well, you have women F3 drivers, female F3 drivers. They're done. There's proof right there that women can drive with men. I just think in the world of motorsport that there aren't as many women compared to men, because traditionally Formula One was never advertised, like it was always advertised as the masculine sport.
Yeah.
And like all sports, really, it's all masculine. Which obviously now in today's world that is changing. That is a good thing. But I mean, I don't think biologically, even if men have an advantage, I don't think that should stop women from getting chances.
I think especially with F1, because I also heard that men have better reaction skills, but it's not about if men have better reaction skills, it's who's got the best reaction skills.
Yeah.
So if that's a woman, that's a woman.
and that's something you can train.
Yeah. And like with F1 is that it's more than just what you're naturally capable of. It's how you can train and also do better as. It's not like you have to be like the tallest person on the basketball team. It's you just brum brum drive a car.
I mean, yeah, sure, height gives you an advantage, but just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good at basketball. So I get what you're saying completely.
Yeah.
Especially look at someone like Caitlin Clark, who is a female basketball player who's quite young. I believe she's just started her professional career. She could easily hang out with someone like some of the highest level of men basketball players and would fit in. So yeah, I hope that sometime in the future that women are more blended in with Formula One. The point of F1 Academy isn't to have their own like competition. The point of it is to show that there are women in motorsports, and here they are. Look at them. We're giving them a platform, so then you know that we're actually trying to raise awareness for this, try and get more women in the sport, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and Danica Patrick is a good example of women in sport because I believe she was a high-level NASCAR driver. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know why she thinks that women can't be in the sport when she is also a woman in the sport. Did something happen? I'm so confused. I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, I know. Yeah, Danica's been in IndyCar and NASCAR, so like she's definitely been around. It wasn't just like she was in NASCAR, got a good like achievement left. She actually had, like she was in multiple series, high level series. So I don't know why. If she did say that, I don't know why. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be like a background thing. Like maybe she felt because she was a woman, she got mistreated.
Yeah. Maybe she's. I like to see that maybe she's saying that she got mistreated maybe in the industry, and she doesn't think women should be in it because of the treatment for it. But she didn't say that. I guess. I mean, I haven't really seen what she did say. I've just heard what she said.
Okay, good. We're having this conversation over she might have said. That's good.
It's every time I hear about it, it's by multiple different people. So I'm assuming it did happen.
Okay.
I trust our source. Being
really?
Becca.
You trust her?
Yes.
I don't trust her with my life. That's a lie.
Right, she's gonna hear this.
Yeah, she's been my best friend for like 4 years. I hope.
You don't trust her.
If that's wrong, if I've got that wrong as well, I'm really digging a hole here.
I hope she yells at you after this episode comes out.
I don't. Anyway,
I'd like to see that.
Race time.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of races, there's cars in those races. Some of the cars look different than usual.
Haas!
What a segue.
Haas! Haas had pretty on it. They were pretty. Was it Haas or Alpine? I can't remember.
It was the way you just Haas. No context. Haas. Yeah, I loved Haas's car this race weekend.
It was so pretty. Oh.
It was their normal one, but it had like cherry blossoms and then the Haas logo. Instead of it just being red, it was like a white to pink gradient, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was
and
so
that should
pretty.
be their car. More cars that aren't called Alpine should have more pink in them.
Yes,
hot take.
We could have had a pink Red Bull, but apparently it was too heavy.
Too heavy. What a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, they were going to do... I can't remember if it was Singapore last year or a different race, but they were going to do like a fan vote. They released 4 potential liveries, and the fans voted on which one they wanted. The one they voted for was too heavy, so they didn't do a special livery at all. Why even do it? Why even... At that point, you should just firm it. You've released it to the general public. The general public has voted, and now you're going back on your word?
Or like if the top ones were like too heavy, then keep them going down the list until you find one that did work. I don't know. Or
test it out before even putting it on a vote.
True.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of Red Bull, They also had a special livery to celebrate that this will be the last time they will be in Japan with a Japanese engine.
Oh.
Because Honda is there. Obviously, Honda's a Japanese company. Honda's the engine supplier. Next
Yeah.
year, they'll be going to Aston Martin, where Red Bull will be getting their engines from the dirty Americans. I didn't mean to say that. From the Americans. Ford
Okay.
will be their partner in the sport. You can keep the dirty American bit in, don't worry.
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is also the design of white and red was also reflected in Max's helmet, which is literally just his normal helmet but white and red, the colours of the Japanese flag. And I think like Yuki had like a kabuki. I think it's pronounced kabuki, like a kabuki style helmet. White, red, blue. Looked cool. Yeah, they were all the special hat. The hats looked really good. I remember when it came out, I messaged you. I was like,
Yeah.
look at this.
I think I was like in like mid like uni lesson, and I already saw it, and also my other friend also told me about it too.
Oh. Whoops.
So I got like too much.
You must have opened it and went, for God's sake, this guy as well now? God.
Yeah, I also showed on my uni friends as well, and he was just making a joke about how what if the petals fall off, and I was like, shut up.
Did you slap him?
No, I should have though.
I'm glad you know. Were there any other special helmets that stood out to you? You want to give a little mention
I
to?
remember the one I can think about that I saw on Instagram is Charles Leclerc's commemorating how many races he's had.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
His 150th off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was that, yeah. That's all I can remember. I don't remember anyone else's.
Remember Lando's one?
I know of Lando's one. I think I remember seeing the Instagram picture.
I met it.
I just don't remember what it looked like.
What I kept because like it was like a grayscale helmet that had some writing on the back. That was it was. I'm trying not to look at my notes. It was like to be remembered in Japanese, something like that. And it was like a partnership with Lando and Liberty Walk, which do like body kits and cars, which is why he had that weird, funky looking car that looks like it shouldn't be legal. But my main takeaway from the videos and the pictures was that he was wearing a Monster hat, and I couldn't get over the thought of a Monster drink with Lando on it, like they do with Hamilton. I think that'd be quite cool. What flavour do you think that would be? Lando flavoured Monster.
Ooh. You should get an orange one.
Like a papaya.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
speaking
what
of
I
Monster,
imagine.
tangent. I had today. I had the Rio Punch.
Oh.
I quite like the can. I didn't know the flavour. I just like the can.
What does the can look like?
Oh, I'll send you a bloody picture.
Oh.
But it's like, I'll try and describe it for all the audible listeners out there if this gets in the podcast. It's a green can, meant to be and then like a yellow rhombus like the Brazilian flag. And it's got like a pelican, it's got a woman, it's got the big statue. You know, I know all the names.
Yep.
The better statue of the North. Where is the DJ? I'm trying to send it to you on Snap.
Oh, that looks nice. I have seen that.
There's another new one in there as well, but only had enough for one drink.
Yeah.
So.
Back to.
Oh yeah, Formula One.
Yeah. I have some notes. Oh, this also happened before the race. I think no, this happened for. I can't remember
Free practice.
I don't know. Carlos Sainz fined for tummy issues.
The pre-race. Yes.
He had tum issues and he got fined for it for missing the anthem because he was in the bathroom having tummy issues.
Yes.
Even though he had a doctor's note. Thoughts?
I'm glad you asked for my thoughts. I would like to flash back to last week's podcast, not last week, 2 weeks ago's podcast, where we spoke about the disqualifications and that if you break the rules, you've broken the rules.
Yeah.
Punishment must be held. Now, it is a rule that if you are late to the anthem, you get fined. Womp Carlos Sainz. However, here's the main point. That man lives in Monaco. That man is rich. I think it was a $15,000 fine.
It was a €20,000 fine.
I think he'll be okay.
He'll be okay, but I feel like, considering he did have a doctor's note, and people can be sick and have problems, I don't see why this is any different to him just like being like, hey, like being at school and saying he's sick and just being let off. Because he did have a doctor's note. He was having his tum-tum issues.
He had the tummy hurties.
Yes, he had tummy achies. Let him go to the bathroom. Because it's out of his control. But it's like, I don't know. I understand the rules. And like last, whatever fucking podcast we did earlier that we said about the rules are rules. Again, I think it's just, it's fine. It's not, I don't feel it's a big deal. And he also had a doctor's note. It's not like he just killed someone.
Maybe, I mean, if it killed someone, I hope he didn't get a $20,000 fine, euro fine.
Oh, yeah. I'd hope there'd be justice to that. But yeah, he's rich. He will probably be fine. He won't care. But
I think with his Williams Racing contract, he gets $10 million a year.
Damn.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be. Yeah.
I think you care more about the fine than he does.
You never know. Maybe he'll be. To be fair, I'd be pissed off if I got that when I was having tummy issues.
That's like 0.02% what you make in a year. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Unlucky Carlos Sainz, I guess.
Poor guy. Had
Maybe
tummy
like the
issues and got
FIA
fined
see it
for
as like a disrespect to the country. Like if you're not there for their national anthem, the country you're in, that you're racing in.
I do.
What the hell?
I do see that. Yeah, I do see that. But I feel like a fine's way too much. Have a slap on the wrist or something. I don't know.
That was that is a slap on the wrist for him.
Oh.
$10 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 grand. Slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that happened before the race,
yeah.
did you see Jack Doohan's crash?
Oh shit! Yeah, I did see that.
Golly, that car was not the same.
No, it kind of just like it looked like it demolished. It just like completely fucking. It looked like when you like throw Legos to the floor, to the wall.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Thank you. It just looked
Where
like
did you come
it
up with that?
my head.
Ah, very empty up there most of the time.
Yeah, especially today.
So, what happened with his crash? Because like one of the big things coming out of that crash was how it happened, and I think I've got the answer.
Ooh.
So, after some investigating, also known as investigating, it normally with like tracks, turn one you brake full. When you've got DRS and you put on brakes or you come off the throttle at a significant rate, the DRS will automatically close. And if your DRS is open, all that aero that you get to help you turn, gone. Just disappeared. What is thought to have happened at Japan with turn one, you can take it flat. However, you can't take it flat, as Jack Doohan has showed, you can't take it flat with DRS open because you can't turn. And that's what happened with Jack. There's your story on, there's investigation, invest. I worked it out, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that you worked it out.
Thank you, man.
High
five.
No, thank. Yeah, okay. There was no other crashes, was there?
No.
No one else.
So boring. Such a boring weekend.
No one went
Was a
into the
couple of red
pool.
flags, though. The track caught fire quite a couple of times.
What?
Yeah, so because it's Japan, quite a dry country, quite a dry track. When the floor of the car hits the road, it creates sparks.
Yeah.
And because the track is so dry, when it hits the grass, and there's no moisture in the grass will catch fire.
Oh.
So they had to red flag it, and the cars didn't. I don't know if you know this, but having fire on a racetrack, quite unsafe.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Mhm.
But that's just normal for Suzuka. So, no real concerns with the fire. There were just fires.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, we have a race to talk about.
Okay, the race. I have
Race.
about 3 notes on the race.
Oh boy, this will be good.
Some things relating to a few episodes ago. I'm gonna say this one because this is like very short. Stroll was Stroll being last, even though we thought maybe Stroll would be.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Because we were like the last few episodes, we were like, oh, Stroll's doing very well. He's getting higher. He's doing quite good, and now he's lost.
Yeah. He never does well at Suzuka.
Okay.
Poor Stroll. He's like me on the F1 video game. Both can't do Suzuka.
Is there a reason why he just can't do it, or is it just more difficult for him?
Maybe. Well, I mean, you're gonna have tracks that you're better at and tracks that you're worse at, and I guess he can't do Suzuka.
Fair enough.
What?
And fuck, what is his name? Alonso finally was in DNF.
Yay!
Yeah, good job, Alonso.
Yay! Somehow Aston Martin have had the smallest win over the weekend. Yay! Yay!
I got another one where I was rewatching the radio recap, and Albon swearing a lot at his the people in his ears.
Yes.
His team. He was swearing a lot at them, saying they had no clue and he had no idea what they were talking about. It was very angry.
I think I read that he got fined for that.
Yeah, because it was meant to be like swearing fines, no?
Over the radio is okay now.
Okay.
If only during like the press, it's not.
Okay, got ya.
But it wasn't necessarily the swearing. It was the context of it all.
Okay.
Apparently, he wasn't being very nice to his team.
Oh.
Which is what I read. Don't know how true that is, but what I read.
Bro is not having a good day.
I think that if I'm in Sainz's position, I think it's more of a. Thank you. If I was in Albon's position, I think it's like at Williams, he has always been the number one driver.
Yeah.
Like respectfully, better driver than the Sergeant, better driver than I don't think he was ever teammates with Latifi, but he is a better driver than Latifi. Before anyone tries to correct me on that, he's always been number one. Now with Sainz, maybe he's not number one anymore. I mean, if you look at the race results, he is. But if you're Albon, you're not going to think you're number one driver anymore. So I think what's happening is that Albon's now trying to, rather than just dealing with the issues, he's now trying to take control. Like, no, what are you doing? This is wrong. Can we please fix this? Because he's trying to show that he knows what he's doing. So they don't. So James Vowles doesn't give him the Logan Sargent treatment. That's what I think's going on. That's the impression I got. Because, yeah, if I was in Albon's position, that's what I'm thinking. But I actually quite enjoy it. I don't think I've ever seen Albon so passionate before.
Yeah. He seems pretty chill most of the time.
I love Albon, and I love someone with passion to any single people out there. So, you know, that's just what I think.
That's fair. I don't really have any other notes about it, just the fact that I was like, oh, when I was watching, I was like, it was like really prominent that he was really being angry at them and that he was like really having a go at them.
Yeah.
Maybe James Vowles deserves it. Oh, wow.
And I think that the race, the main problem of it was that it was more of a race that was won on like Saturday, right? Because something really happened in the top 10. And like, did you see Max's qualifying lap?
No.
Beautiful. Like I think in the end he was like 0.012 seconds off Lando.
Oh.
Like, we're talking finest of margins. And considering what we know about the Red Bull car maybe not being as good as Racing Bulls, my God, like he's genuinely proven that he's currently the best driver in that grid.
Yeah.
I
do quite like Max.
I think that as well. I get why Lando and Ross, because Lando could have attacked Max at any point during that race,
Yeah.
but he didn't because he wanted to stay in clean air to help with the tire degradation. But if I'm Lando and I know Oscar's behind me, I would push Max instead of waiting until like the end of the race, because then the longer Max isn't in clean air, the worse his tires are going to get, meaning you have a better chance of getting him. Also, speaking of McLaren, what were they thinking?
Are you talking
'Cause
about them not letting Oscar overtake?
their whole race in general? Because we'll cover. I mean, the main talking point about the race in itself was the dodgy pit lane exit, but it was they had Lando and Oscar on the exact same tyre strategy, which I'd understand if they were both winning, but they weren't. They had to overtake someone. So why would you not try something different? And if you want a great example of that, Mercedes did it perfectly. They had, yeah, admittedly, it was medium. I'm not saying start one of them on hards. You could have, but Mercedes had George Russell pit when everyone else pitted. Kimi went on mediums. Whoa. Kimi went on mediums later. Like he went long on mediums, switched to hards, and by the end of the race, he was much faster than George. Hence him getting fastest lap. Why did they not do that? Or maybe have Oscar start on hards, have him go long on hards, and then switch to mediums and just have him push. But no, they had him on the same exact tyre strategy as Lando. That makes no sense. And also, why did they not swap drivers? There were like 13 laps left. Piastri is saying down the radios, "I think I can catch Max." We never saw Lando's radio messages, but the media would suggest that Lando's turning into a cocky guy, and it seems like Lando denied that idea. But surely, because it's a thing in F1, if you switch teammates, you can always give the position back towards the end of the race. Like, if you can't catch Max, swap positions. Why do they not do that?
I don't know. Because I didn't watch the part of the recap where they were like saying that, oh, they should have let Oscar go past Lando. Because Oscar was gaining further than Lando was and doing a lot better. And Lando and Oscar were just next to each other. So they should have let Oscar just go ahead and try and catch the Max.
I think that race may have showed who the number one driver is. And I think they made the wrong choice. But yeah, as I covered the dodgy pit lane exit, did you watch the Lando and Max in the pit lane exit?
I did see that, and I think that Lando was in the wrong.
I don't think any of them are in the wrong. I think it was a good old-fashioned racing incident.
It was just an incident.
I think that Lando wanted to overtake Verstappen in the pits, obviously. And why would Verstappen give up that position? What should have happened realistically is Lando should have just waited a second, lifted off for a second, let Max in front, then get behind Max. Then he could attack him going into the first corner. But instead he tried to overtake him in the pit lane. Why?
Yeah. And then
I can't lie, when it first happened, I was shouting to my sister, like, look on the onboard, his steering wheel's pointing to the right, he pushed him off. No, he didn't. He didn't.
It just like Max was just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And it just went off.
What is this fucking papaya prick doing in this pit lane exit?
Yeah. And I think just Lando got very like, I can do it. And then he realised, shit, I can't.
Hurry the fuck up. I can get in front of him. No, you can't.
No. And then he liked the grass a little bit, licked it a bit, and then went off.
Licked the grass? Licked the grass?
Yeah, he wanted to lick the grass a bit.
Okay. Interesting metaphor, is what I'll say to that.
Yeah.
Weird guy.
That's all my notes.
Yeah, that's all mine. Well, golly gosh, what race isn't it this week, DJ? Please do tell me.
Bahrain?
Oh yeah, baby.
And it's finally not an early morning one. It's at 2:00 now.
6 o'clock, would it?
No.
Yes?
No. No, I saw it was 2 No.
I'm pretty sure it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, it's race at 4. We're both
No.
wrong.
Meet in the middle. No, see, what I was doing was I was like going to the other extreme. So because the answer was in the middle of our two answers. Obviously, I knew that. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, track time, it's 6 o'clock. So.
Yeah. Cool.
What are
Thoughts?
you... Well, okay. Thoughts?
Don't care.
I've got
So-
no fucking thoughts.
Damn it. I've got one.
Okay.
So, for free practice, some of the teams are letting some rookies do free practice 1. And Mercedes are letting Frederick Vesti drive their Mercedes car, and I really like that because I like Frederick Vesti. I feel really bad for Vesti and Pourchaire because they had a great F2 season in 2023, only then to be ignored for 2024 because the drivers, there were no changes between 2023 and 2024, which was like the first time that's happened in ages. And Pourchaire was the Sauber Academy driver, but then they didn't pick Pourchaire for this season. They chose Bortoletto, who won the F2 season last year. Why would you do that? Why? But Vesti and Pourchaire had a great season, really close, and both those drivers got ignored. So any recognition those drivers can get, I'm a great fan of. I think Pourchaire's now gone to IndyCar, yay, but I'm very happy that Vesti is still in the world of F1. I think he's a Mercedes reserve driver,
Okay.
which is good. Maybe we'll see Paul Aron in an Alpine, which is another F2 driver I really like. What about you? What about you? Thoughts on Frederick Vesti?
I have no clue who that is. I
You're
can't.
not my friend anymore.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry. I don't really
I'm
have
not
any.
with you.
I really have no thoughts about the Bahrain. I feel like we're just gonna see a lot of because over the last 3 races, it's just McLaren, and it's boring. I mean, it's fine. I like McLaren, but
Who out of Max Verstappen and Lando, who do you think will have a better Bahrain?
depends if Red Bull fix their car or not.
Good answer.
Because if they
Well-
fix their car, Max. If they don't, maybe Max. I don't know.
Yeah, still probably Max.
Maybe Max. Max is a good driver. I really do like Max. I think Max is a great driver. He's obviously the best on the grid. Like he is showing that he is quite good. But I also don't want a whole season of Max winning. So Max, be a bit shit,
I
please.
mean, but it's been 3 races so far, 3 different winners.
Yeah, which is good. I quite like. But
Let's keep
two
that streak up.
of those winners were from the same team, which is fine.
They're
It's
also the
fine.
team that you like.
I do like but I like to switch it up a bit. I like to see other people win too.
Boring.
And I like to see for the standings that they change because so far it's been Lando Norris at the top. I want to see some
yeah.
drama. I want to see
There
some.
is currently, sorry, there is currently 1 point between Lando and Max.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. I want to see, like Kimi get up there. George, they're 4 or 5 right on the standings. I want to see more Kimi. Kimi got like what fastest lap in Japan. I was like, oh, good job.
The youngest driver ever to have a fastest lap.
He was also the youngest driver to lead a race at one point, despite it. I mean, yeah, it was because people pitted, but he leaded it for a bit.
It's not important.
Love you, Kimi. So I'm really hoping for Kimi doing well, because I think he's got a lot of potential.
Actually, sorry, scratch that. I think he's the second youngest driver to get fastest lap.
They said the first.
No, I think he's second.
Okay.
I think Verstappen is first.
Oh, okay.
Of course it is.
I mean, it's Max.
God. Well, speaking of Bahrain, and speaking of Formula One fantasy, because we were talking about that, don't ask questions. Will you be making any changes to your Formula One fantasy team?
The only thing I'd change is Yuki and Liam and sorting their things out.
Well, if I found out the hard way, if you already have Yuki in your team from when he was at Racing Bulls, get rid of him.
Yeah, I did. I got a notification to get rid of him, and I did.
I did and ignored it. So I had I'm in a head-to-head with my sister, and let me just make sure I'm saying this one right. I had Yuki. I forgot to change it, so I still had Yuki in there from Racing Bulls, even though he was an inactive driver. So I've actually had a horrible week on fantasy, terrible week. So yeah, I had Racing Bulls as a constructor, and Yuki as my inactive driver. No points for either there. Good from me. I've also, for some reason, I've got Piastri and Albon in the same team, and yet Albon's the guy with the DRS boost, and has been for the last 3 races. Why have I not changed it? Is a great question. So in my head-to-head, I'm on 64. From China alone, I'm on 64, and my sister 172. So that's not good. But to our league, have you looked at the scores on our
I
league?
can't see our league. I don't know where to find it.
It's because you smell bad. I've actually had a great. I've had a. I'm not looking. I'm looking at. Oh, I'm looking at your one. You got 170. You got 95 points.
Yeah.
Your DRS boost is on Sonoda. Leclerc got 20 points.
I found
Albon
it.
8.
Found our.
Yeah, well done.
Found the league.
Good news for me. I'm only 60 points behind Arthur. I've got 149 on our main league. Not too shabby. Although I've realised that my fantasy team basically copies the guy in first, except he has Fernando Alonso and I have Carlos Sainz. But everything else is the same. So I thought the only way I'm going to beat this kid is if I do something completely different. So you only get 3 free transfers until the next race. I've done more than that, thus taking a point penalty. I get sort of like 20 points. So I've swapped out. Let me find my fantasy team, because this is thrilling content. Yeah, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4. I've made 4 changes, so I'll be eating a 20-point penalty. But mark my words, I will finish this season on top.
Yeah.
I swear I will. I will do it. I'll make it my mission. And if I don't, if we don't get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, and/or I don't win the fantasy league, this podcast will be deleted forever.
Nope, that is not what's going to happen.
What do you mean?
No.
There we go.
He's weird. That's not staying in, by the way.
What?
What?
I'm hurt. No, that's cool. But yeah, I don't think there's not really much to talk about with Japan. I mean, all the talking points about Japan was everything outside of the race.
Yeah, because the race didn't really... There wasn't much.
Boring.
The race was there. It existed.
The race happened. The race finished.
People
and that
won.
was about it.
Yeah.
Cars crossed the line. Stroll came last. It was a standard race.
And that is what it is. So, I guess we can wrap
And
this up.
that is a race.
Yes. I guess we'll see people again after the Bahrain race.
Well, next week, innit?
Mm-hmm.
We got a triple header ahead of us. Where are we going after Bahrain?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. That was like Google search.
I didn't Google search. I went to the F1 app. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for all listening to this. Obviously, leave a like in the comment section and subscribe in the likes. That's good, right? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Subscribe, follow, retweet. Okay.
We'll see you guys after the Bahrain race.
Bahrain.
Bahrain. Maybe it has sheeps that rain.
That was bad.
That was bad. All right,
That was
bye.
yeah.
Bye.